Both presidential campaigns focusing on the West this week. All of the candidates making stops from the Pacific Northwest to the desert. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. Early voting starts tomorrow in the battleground state of Arizona, where the candidates are planning events in the coming days. But tonight, Democrats visiting another battleground. Let's give you a live look tonight at Reno, where vice presidential nominee Governor Tim Walz is at the podium right now holding a rally. Governor Walz returning to Reno after he was forced to postpone another planned rally last month. That was because of a wildfire burning nearby, what was dubbed the Davis Fire. But Walz speaking to the crowd in Reno tonight. The governor started off his day in the Pacific Northwest, attending a private fundraiser in Hunts Point outside of Seattle. This was part of a fundraising blitz that included a number of stops across the West. There were no public events held during his time in Washington. After that, Walz made a stop in Sacramento today, where he attended a campaign reception. And then we're told tomorrow he has 3 stops planned in Arizona. He's expected to meet with military families in Chandler outside of Phoenix, and then with tribal leaders in the Gila River Indian community. He'll wrap up his Arizona visit with a rally happening in Tucson. On the Republican side, they are planning to hold a rally of their own in Tucson tomorrow. Vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is expected to take part after participating in a town hall event happening in Mesa. Today, he rallied voters in the battleground state of Michigan, and he pushed former President Trump's immigration policy during his speech in Detroit today, urging voters to learn about the various ways they can cast their ballots.
You know what Donald Trump's message is to illegal aliens? You got 4 months, pack your bags, because you're going home when Donald Trump is back in the White House. And if the Democrats are going to take advantage of every avenue to vote, then Republicans, we've got to do it too. So get out there, make your voice heard, and get out there and vote.
Senator Vance will also spend some time in the San Francisco Bay Area tomorrow when he attends a campaign fundraiser. Tickets to that event in the community of Woodside start at $3,300 per person. Former President Trump will visit 4 states here in the West over the next several days. His first West Coast stop is set for Friday in Colorado. That's where he's expected to make an immigration speech in Aurora. On Saturday, the former president will stop in Nevada and California. He's planning to join a roundtable discussion with Latino voters in Las Vegas, and he'll also hold a rally in Coachella, California. That's just outside of Palm Springs. Then on Sunday, another rally featuring former President Trump is planned in Arizona's Prescott Valley. Vice President Kamala Harris has changed plans to visit Arizona later this week. She was originally set to hold a rally in the battleground state on Friday. Now we've learned she's set to make a campaign stop on Thursday in Phoenix. Her campaign has not released any other details about that visit. Today, Harris continued a media blitz, taking questions from the hosts of The View.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Vice President Harris also spoke with radio host Howard Stern and taped a show with late-night comedian Stephen Colbert. The campaigns are focused on the West in the final weeks of this race. I asked Sonoma State political science professor David McEwen about what these stops here in this part of the country tell us about the election season.
You come to California, obviously, because it's the giant ATM of American politics. So we have to, lift some of that money out of your wallet there, Alex, and put it in the campaign coffers. In addition, since you're close by, you can go to Arizona and Nevada, 2 key battlegrounds. Georgia, obviously, it's electoral votes, what happens there. Pennsylvania being the big prize in the Rust Belt. But really, it's Arizona and Nevada that can put you over the top, headed to 270. So those states should receive a lot of attention here in the closing weeks.
And Professor McEwen says we should also keep an eye on how the response to back-to-back hurricanes in Helene and Milton in the southeast part of the country could potentially influence the outcome of this presidential election with just 4 weeks to go. 1 person has died and 7 others are hospitalized tonight after several possible overdoses at the Men's Central Jail in downtown Los Angeles today. The fire department says they were called to that facility this morning on reports of possible overdoses involving an unknown white powder. All 7 people who were taken to the hospital were conscious and breathing.
Deputies administered Narcan, and did CPR to all the inmates involved.
At the peak of the incident, we had 40 firefighters that arrived here, a total of 8 ambulances, plus our hazardous materials squad.
The person who died is described as a man in his 30s. It is still unclear tonight if he was an inmate or a member of the jail staff. Tonight, we are just a few hours away from watching tons of explosives bring down a piece of Las Vegas history. Here is a live look tonight at the Strip, and obviously you see the Sphere there in the foreground. This is where people are gathering right now to say goodbye to the Tropicana Casino and Hotel. The Tropicana's towers are set to come down at 2:30 in the morning. This implosion is expected to create a party-like atmosphere in the city, more of a party-like atmosphere in Vegas, with fireworks and a drone show included in all this. Fox 5's Joe Vigil spoke with the team tasked with bringing down the house.
The Tropicana opened 67 years ago. It will take around 22 seconds to demolish the 2 remaining towers. During a recent tour here, we learned several interesting things about the implosion process. The club tower is framed with concrete. Explosive charges at the base of the building and a few other floors will set off dynamite to blast through the support pillars. Those destroyed pillars will then no longer be able to support the weight of the building, and it will fall on itself. But the Paradise Tower, closest to Las Vegas Boulevard, is a steel frame structure, and things will be done differently here.
This is a shape charge.
The owner of the demolition company explained that this explosive-shaped copper charge, which has blue plastic where the explosive would be, will be set off, hurling the copper through the steel frame to weaken it at a mind-boggling speed.
Over 5 miles per second. It's fast. To use an overused analogy, if you have a soft stick of butter and you push a knife through it, it doesn't melt the butter, it doesn't vaporize it, it just shoves it sideways. That's what the copper does.
In the concrete framed club tower, the pillars where the dynamite will go are wrapped with metal fencing first to keep any big chunks from shooting out. This black curtain-like material is wrapped around the pillars and used on entire floors where the blasting will occur to keep smaller debris from flying away from the building. Same principle on the Paradise Tower, with a good look right here directly beneath it. Work to place the dynamite and copper charges on both buildings started last week and was expected to be done by Sunday. Because of that, there are round-the-clock patrols to prevent anyone from getting at that material. And something else we learned, we are told 95% of these buildings will be recycled. Here are some concrete chunks on scene. They are being crushed into material that will be used as a base for new pavement. The steel will be recycled too, to be used for basically anything that is made of steel. The implosion on the Paradise Tower will start first. It will fall slightly away from the Strip. The club tower, about 4 seconds later, will fall slightly toward the Paradise Tower, and that will be it. More than 6 decades of history gone in just seconds.
It will happen just that fast. That was Fox 5's Joe Vigil reporting tonight. Here is another live look at Las Vegas here, where we do understand there's a dust advisory that is in place here for the city in regards to that implosion happening in the early morning hours. The Tropicana site, by the way, is being cleared out to make room for a new ballpark that is expected to be the A's new home as they leave Oakland. That ballpark, though, is not expected to be finished until 2028. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a powerful explosion rocks a Southern California neighborhood, leaving 1 person injured. Cameras captured that blast and the aftermath. Coming up tonight, neighbors share what it was like to feel that explosion. Plus, sports fans in Salt Lake City relish tonight's debut of the NHL's newest team. See how they're welcoming the Utah Hockey Club.
And in weather, here's our look out towards San Francisco, where we are talking about a cool down today. In fact, the fog is back in the picture. We're going to update the West Coast Wrap forecast coming up.
The Colorado Supreme Court today dismissed a lawsuit against a baker who refused to bake a cake for a transgender woman. The panel did not rule on the merits of the case. Instead, the 6-3 decision said the plaintiff did not exhaust her options to seek redress through another court before filing her lawsuit. The 3 dissenting justices said the baker's conduct violated the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act. The attorneys general of California and several other states have joined together to take legal action against TikTok. Their lawsuit claims the social media company is deliberately preying on kids with algorithms that intend to keep them hooked. KTVU's Mark Sayer has more tonight from San Jose.
TikTok is one of the most popular social media platforms, and according to California Attorney General Rob Bonta, about 1/3 of all kids between the ages of 13 and 17 use the service.
They have promoted a platform and a business model that preys on the proclivity of young people to use the TikTok platform in a way that's addictive, excessive, and compulsive.
Now Bonta, along with attorneys general in 13 other states, are laying out in lawsuits some of the specific concerns.
They have a beauty filter that fosters unrealistic beauty standards. It harms self-esteem, it triggers body image issues, and even physical and mental health disorders. TikTok has known that. They have their own internal studies that reveal that. They know that they're harming children with their beauty filter, and they do it anyway.
Governments across the globe, including here in the United States, have absolutely decided that they want to control how social media operates.
Professor Eric Goldman is co-director of the High-Tech Law Institute at Santa Clara University. He says these lawsuits will have to clear significant constitutional challenges.
California is attacking social media aggressively in the legislature, and the state AG's intervention is just extending that attack. But all of those attacks have significant free speech concerns.
So what parents need to know is that the attorneys general are providing a warning signal to them directly by saying you should know more about what your kids are doing online.
Danny Weiss is with the nonprofit Common Sense Media, which advocates for media and online safety for kids.
Some of the things that teenagers and kids are doing with their phones and other devices may be unhealthy for them.
In a statement, TikTok says it is disappointed in the lawsuit, saying in part, "We provide robust safeguards, proactively remove suspected underage users, and have voluntarily launched safety features such as default screen time limits, family pairing, and privacy by default for minors under 16. Reporting in San Jose, I'm Mark Sayer, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Tonight, another emergency crew based here in the West is headed for Florida to help respond to Hurricane Milton, which is headed toward Florida tonight. Utah's Task Force 1 says it's headed south after spending several days in Tennessee responding to the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. The team has images they posted online showing crew members packing up after getting those new orders to head south toward Florida. The crew members say they are in good spirits and they're incredibly grateful for the encouragement they're getting from family and friends back home. And in Florida, evacuations ahead of Hurricane Milton are leading to packed freeways all across that state tonight. And by the way, we can let you know that at last check, Hurricane Milton is a massive and powerful Category 5 storm. And this is the scene you see all across the west coast of Florida. This is a live look at Interstate 75 in Collier County. That's just south of Tampa. And people all across the Tampa Bay region are preparing potentially for a direct hit from this hurricane, which would be devastating. But it's also that storm surge that really could cause so much damage across that densely populated area. That is the big concern. For more, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Mark Tamayo, who is tracking the potential paths that Milton could take as it heads toward Florida. And also, Mark, you're tracking a nice cool down here in the west.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. First, we'll begin with Hurricane Milton. As you mentioned, a Category 5 storm with winds of 165 miles an hour. There's that well-defined eye showing up on the satellite. So this storm has been, of course, strengthening. Right now, major hurricane status. And here's the forecast track over the next few days. In fact, here's a closer look right now in terms of the timing. And we are expecting some weakening. But Category 3 is still a major hurricane, and this could be potentially catastrophic with the rainfall, but especially the strong winds and the storm surge. So it looks like we could be tracking a landfall late Wednesday and into early Thursday morning. So we'll keep an eye on the development of what is now a powerful hurricane approaching Florida. For us here out across the west, as you can see here, we have a cool down in the San Francisco Bay Area. That was the headline there. Some clouds, some showers, as you can see, for the northern portions of Arizona. And up in the Pacific Northwest, some rain showers moving into the Seattle area today. And there is a chance for tonight that could linger into tomorrow morning. This was Seattle today. They picked up rainfall about 0.26 inches and a temperature of 66 degrees. In San Francisco, the cool down started San Francisco yesterday in the lower 90s. Today in the lower 70s. And then, as you can see out in Arizona, the dangerous heat continues. 108 degrees for today, as you can see it looking out in the Phoenix area. Right now, it's 101 in Phoenix. Las Vegas, 93 degrees. Up in Portland and Seattle, temperatures in the 60s, around 62 to 68. And here is the forecast for tomorrow. There is a chance of a shower for Seattle. For the most part, though, we're just expecting a sun-cloud mix. Sunny and warm out toward Denver. For San Francisco, temperatures will be right around 70 degrees. The warmest locations in the Bay Area will be approaching the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees. 80s for Los Angeles, and it's warm to hot, of course, out in the Phoenix area. Temperatures up above 100 degrees. Baseball happening with the Dodgers and the Padres. One game, the Game 3 is happening right now. Game 4 tomorrow. We are expecting mostly clear skies in San Diego with temperatures close to 70 degrees and winds out of the northwest at about 10 miles per hour. Here's the forecast model tonight, picking up with that shower chance up in Seattle, and that chance will linger into tomorrow morning. As you can see, some clouds moving into northern California. So over the next 3 days, 60s for Seattle with a mixture of sun and clouds. The headline for the Bay Area, cooling. That really kicks in for tomorrow, as you can see. Out toward Denver, temperatures in the 80s for tomorrow. Los Angeles has the fog in the morning, clearing out into the afternoon. As you can see in Phoenix, 106, 106, 106 for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So they continue to pick up the triple-digit heat. But what's interesting, though, Alex, we're starting to see some changes up to our north that could impact maybe some rain chances and also a cool down with the temperature pattern over the next few days.
Yeah, we certainly get the sense change is in the air. We were talking about that extreme heat over the past week or so for much of the West. And tonight we want to show you the scene in Alaska here, a much different sight. Some people in Alaska woke up to their first snow of the season today. The National Weather Service captured these images of just some light snow falling in Fairbanks this morning, but heavier snow is expected to come down throughout the night. Well, it's a dream come true for hockey fans in Utah tonight. The NHL's Utah Hockey Club is making its debut in a game against the Chicago Blackhawks. Today, the team posted video online showing shirts waiting for the fans at every seat inside Salt Lake City's Delta Center. Fans who don't have tickets are taking advantage of a watch party that's set up outside the arena.
Oh, we've been waiting finally. Now we don't have to drive to Nevada or somewhere else. We can just stay in the home state of Utah.
Bringing pro hockey to Salt Lake City was made possible by the Arizona Coyotes' departure from Phoenix earlier this year. The team moved to Utah, taking on a new name. Well, tonight, investigators are trying to figure out what set off an explosion that rocked a Southern California neighborhood and left one person injured. A camera was rolling when that blast destroyed a back house built on a property. As Fox 11's Hal Eisner explains, he explains what authorities are investigating tonight in Long Beach.
The power of the explosion was so strong it blew the roof straight up in the air. And as that video ended, the power went out. The home where it happened. But this is your home?
Yeah, this is my home.
This woman, still shaken, didn't want to take any questions, which is understandable. But neighbors were talking because the blast was so strong in the neighborhood.
Just heard like a bomb sound. It was really strong. We felt like our house was gonna go down.
Felt like a truck slammed into our house.
And you see the frame?
Yeah, right here. Jose Zavala's door was damaged. His ceiling dropped. He thought the big one had hit.
I told my family to just get down, get on the floor.
Did you get down on the floor?
Yeah.
And look in his utility room, more ceiling damage. You're okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well,
okay.
Right now I'm okay.
Across the street,
this cable broke down.
This woman's backyard utility lines came down. Edison quickly came out to fix them. And while all of this was going on, Camilla Audello grabbed her phone and started taking videos. One person was injured. Camilla says it looked like he had burns on his arms. He's believed to be in his late 30s. He was taken to a local hospital.
Well, I saw the people running to the house because the explosion, and our house, it was like shaking. and very, very, very scared.
So now, after this, fire investigators have a lot of work on their hands.
Our goal is right now is to determine the cause, to make sure that we've assessed the area for any type of hazards or potential hazards, and then from there to make sure all the neighborhood is safe.
And that was Fox 11's Hal Eisner reporting for us tonight from Southern California. The Red Cross is helping neighbors displaced by that explosion. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, an Arizona restaurant is on a mission to help build a sense of community. Tonight, see how it's asking customers for help. Also, we'll break down what it took for this pumpkin to set a new record in Colorado. A pay-it-forward policy at one Phoenix restaurant helps feed people in need. Fox 10's Irene Snyder spoke with the restaurant's owner, who hopes all of this will help create a sense of community for those experiencing homelessness.
We definitely want to be always ready to help, and this is who we are, and we have to do this, no matter how hard it gets.
The Loving Hut certainly lives up to its name. For years, they've been giving out free fried rice to those who are struggling, often with nowhere else to turn.
We've always given homeless guests fried rice, and then our customers heard about it, so the Pay It Forward came into fruition because they wanted to participate.
The way their Pay It Forward system works, customers can come in, get their own meal, and then purchase a separate meal to be eaten later on when someone who needs it stops by.
Instead of just fried rice, we could do anything on our menu, even they're adding like drinks to it, and we get probably about 2 to 3 Pay It Forwards a day. And they go really fast too, because our homeless guests hear about it or people in need.
One of their regular customers is Aaron. He picks up one of the prepaid Pay It Forward meals every day. His goal someday is to go into business management.
It really helps me. It helps me spend more time at the library and read and study and help to build up my readiness for college and work.
While the food is great, for Aaron, stopping by the Love Hut means more to him than just getting a free meal.
What brings you back every day?
The people.
And the people there are always happy to know they're making a difference.
It really uplifts us every single time it happens, and it really gives us hope.
Irene Snyder, Fox News.
An inspiring way to give back. Finally, tonight, a firefighter has set a record by growing a pumpkin that weighs more than a ton. Brad Bledsoe, a medic with the Aurora Fire Rescue Department in Colorado, set a record last month with a pumpkin weighing 1,955 pounds. But a week later, another grower came forward with a pumpkin that was 21 pounds heavier. Then on Saturday, Bledsoe was back with a pumpkin weighing in at 2,083 pounds. It is the first pumpkin in Colorado to weigh more than a ton, and congratulations to him. Those are some giant gourds. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. A reminder, before we go, you can stay up to date on all the important stories we're covering across the West at our website, westcoastwrap.com, and stream all of our shows by downloading the free Fox Local app. A beautiful shot here of the San Francisco Bay Area. Have a great night.